Hi, welcome back to a brand new video snippet from Deadly Affirmations, the video novel. Today we're going to read the first part of chapter 18. And once again, here's the commercial. If you look just below this post, you'll find a link to the Amazon.com page where you can purchase a copy of this book in ebook or paperback, whichever you prefer. And while I'm happy that you come and listen to me read it to you, and you're welcome to return as often as you like, you might want to get a copy of this one to read at home in your spare time. And with the coronavirus pandemic, you've got a lot of spare time. Just saying. Just something to think about. So, if you're ready to begin, let's begin. 18. Reclaim your personal power. Patience was late for work. She'd overslept just a little, thanks to the wonderful effects of Alice and her new big buddy. Either one, or both, she decided, could easily become her new BFFs. She was listening to the local old rock radio station, tapping her fingers on the steering wheel and idly checking out the store windows as she drove past them. Spirit had barely begun Nothing to Hide when Randy California hollered, "Wake up!" just in time for Patience to slam on the brakes to avoid running over a little slip of a girl. That idiot had just walked into traffic in the middle of the block at the height of the rush hour, not looking, not seeing, and based on her seemingly willful ignoring of Patience leaning on her horn, not hearing. What a freaking moron! The young woman, she could have been in her early 20s or a little younger, had her medium brown hair cut short, even, and about an inch in length. She wore mirrored Ray-Ban aviator sunglasses. Her ears, small gold hoops, septum, small curved gold barbell, and left nostril, thin gold hoop, were pierced. She wore a black Art Nouveau rose tattooed on the right side of her neck and a silver solar system necklace. Sun and planets were all semi-precious stones: jade, turquoise, agate, solidite, snow stone, and jasper around her neck. Her clothes were minimalist, an asymmetrical zip hooded leather motorcycle jacket over a tight black scoop neck top. Patience thought that it might have been a leotard. A pair of black Lee regular fit jeans and a pair of well-worn brown leather Fry harness boots. The girl miraculously made it to the curb and kept walking, all the while focusing all of her attention on the little phone that she cradled, and every once in a while she held the phone out at arm's length, turning her face up to look at the phone, and smiling before bringing the phone back to hold close to her chest, tapping and touching the little screen. Selfies. Selfies! Patience was a little shaken by this near run-into, and stopped in her lane until a helpful honk behind her reminded her to drive on. She waved at the thoughtful commuter behind her and pulled away from the sight of the disaster that might have been. She pulled into her parking space in the garage underneath TS a few minutes later and sat quietly, putting her emotional self back together. That took another 15 minutes. After yesterday afternoon's team building exercises, Patience was very ready to get back to the piles and piles of files that she was certain had multiplied overnight. Well, at least there would be no surprises, nothing unexpected, and unfortunately nothing even remotely new to upset her day or make it the least bit interesting. Work was not, at least for Patience, as exciting as her morning commute had been. Patience had this morning, just like she had done for the past 2.5 weeks, resolutely read and followed her daily guides and affirmations. This morning had been no different. She had opened the little book and read, "You need no one's approval but your own. You know what to do to reclaim your personal power. You can hear it whispering to you, but you haven't been listening to that wise little voice until now. While it may be easier to allow others to make your decisions for you, ultimately your decisions decide the path your life will take. The sooner you realize that you are the compass of your soul, the fuller your life will be and the more fun you will have. What do you want to do right now? Listen to the soft voice of your power and just do it. If it all seems confusing, act. Action always brings clarity." And then she chose her card. 48. I trust myself and I know my inner wisdom is my power and my best guide to my life. As she sat in her car in the garage beneath her workplace, Patience thought about the daily guide and knew exactly what she wanted to do right fucking now. But work called, damn it. Detective Williams was a little hungover from the PBR 40s. Maybe he wouldn't do that again for a while, he decided. At home, before he dressed for work, he had drunk 2 large glasses of water, ate 4 pieces of dry toast, and drunk another big glass of water. He had tossed 3 Walgreens naproxen sodium liquid gels down the hatch and then had drunk another glass of water. When he got to the station, Williams plopped himself down at his desk and surveyed the situation. No new files. Okay. He still had only 9 murders to solve and 2 workdays left until Saturday. He thought that after this unsettling couple of weeks, he deserved some time away from it all. He didn't fish, it was too boring. He didn't hunt, too violent. He didn't own a motorcycle, too dangerous, with all those blind people riding around in metal cages, ignoring anything with fewer than 4 wheels. He liked movies, but nothing that had been made in the past 10 years. Live music was too loud, museums were too quiet. He liked women generally. They were pretty and curvy, and if they didn't talk too much or ask him to do anything for them, they were tolerable. He wasn't interested in a one-night stand, amateur or professional. That just seemed creepy. He did like to eat, and he was fond of drinking. A fancy restaurant with a good selection of good liquor. Scotch. That was it. He would have to find a good restaurant that served something he liked, something normal in generous helpings. He had a couple of days to investigate the possibilities. But now he had to get back to investigate these pesky murders. There were still lots of possibilities that presented themselves, but so far, none of those possibilities had any evidence that supported them. He went back to the more recent cases, Ombridge and Tomlin. First one first, Ombridge.